From our studio in our office at the corner of 8th and Walton in Bentonville, Arkansas, welcome to Saturday Morning Meeting. Brought to you in part by Dun & Bradstreet Credibility Corp., the leading provider of credit and credibility solutions for businesses. Saturday Morning Meeting covers Walmart, Sam's Club, and the consumer product companies that are represented on the racks and shelves throughout the country and around the world. Our focus is on the insights, trends, and best practices to help you as a supplier grow your business with the world's largest retailer. I'm Andy Shook, filling in for Derek Ridenauer. Thank you for joining us. Now, we have an exciting show for you today. After the week's top retail news headlines, we'll get comments from supplier Julie James and Didi Frazier. Then, Derek takes us to the CCC for a tour of that amazing facility with Mike Graen. And finally, Stan Zylowski talks about how beacons are changing our interactions with consumers. But first, the headlines. Sam's Club CEO Rosalind Brewer's star is shining bright after her presentation at Walmart's recent shareholders meeting. While Sam's Club struggled during the first quarter, the City Wire reports that Wall Street analyst Brian Sozzi thinks that Brewer might be a good candidate to take over, wait for it, the CEO role at Target. Just speculation at this point, and Brewer has big plans for her current company as she refines its merchandise assortment, beefs up membership benefits, and develops opportunities for omni-channel sales. Walmart continues to make good on its promise to further develop its tech resources. Now, the San Jose Mercury News reports that at Walmart Labs acquired Stylr, a mobile app that helps consumers find clothing at nearby retailers. Now, the story states that Walmart doesn't plan to actually operate the app, but will use its technology in the further development of Walmart's own mobile projects, which seem to be growing in number. The recent accident that injured SNL alum Tracy Morgan and killed another passenger in his vehicle involved a Walmart truck. Ad Age reports that while Walmart has long enjoyed a sterling reputation for fleet safety, that reputation is at risk as the crash is investigated. Now, Walmart spokesperson has stated that Walmart believes that the driver was in compliance with the federal guidelines that stipulate the number of hours a driver can work. After years of attempting to open up retail outlets in India, Walmart decided to focus on developing its wholesale business there. The Economic Times states that Walmart will no longer seek to operate retail stores in India and will instead further develop its current model of selling to businesses. In addition, Bloomberg reports that Walmart India is developing its e-commerce outreach to owners of mom-and-pop stores in India who don't live near one of the Walmart's wholesale outlets. Traditional stores use shelf labels to break down the unit cost of products as a way of helping consumers get the best deal while shopping. Now, until recently, however, retailers haven't consistently provided this information on their e-commerce sites. Crane's Chicago business reports that Walmart, along with 3 other retailers, recently entered into an agreement to provide per-unit costs on their websites and mobile apps, giving consumers additional information such as price per ounce. Interestingly, while big players such as Costco, CVS, and Walgreens are getting on the unit price bandwagon, Amazon chose not to enter into the unit price agreement. Amazon's tagline is, "And you're done." Well, somehow, I don't think we're done with this topic yet. On WalmartNewsNow.com, you'll find Walmart and supplier news as it is reported, all gathered on one site. All right, joining us today is Didi Frazier from L'Oreal Paris and Julie James from Hillshire Brands. Welcome.
Hi.
So glad you guys could make it this morning. So, Walmart Labs, they've made another acquisition, not accusation, they made another acquisition with Stylr app. So, is this a good move? What's Stylr app going to do for Walmart?
Well, I think one of the things that it will help them with is the apparel business, and then maybe bringing in that millennial consumer that they have not necessarily targeted in the past. You know, younger generations are more apt to use these apps and use them in store, and more people are moving towards apps and what they can do to your shopping experience.
Well, Walmart said they have, 65% of their customers are using mobile phones or using apps in the store, and 80% of them are under 35 years old. So is that who they're going after?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. They make, and we see it too as category in the food industry. So yeah, the millennials are definitely a go-get. And we've talked to Walmart also about the boomers. So as boomers, unfortunately, trail off into the shopping experience, you know,
right. We like the brick and mortar, right? Oh yeah,
exactly.
At least I do.
So millennials have been a clear opportunity, and while this is great, and I think it's fab, they are going to use the apps and they use their smartphones in store, they're also going to have to do something about the store experience, because that's a big struggle too. But hey, it's a great step, and Doug's talked about this.
When you went on the Stylr app to kind of look at how the app is used, it looks like they've got like followers, right? They've got people that follow them. They go and they look at designs, and then they post things, and people like things and don't like things, and do this, whatnot. How do you think Walmart's going to use this Stylr app? Do you think it's just going to be in apparel, or do you think they're going to kind of reinvent it and use it pretty much all over the store? Or?
I mean, I think it could benefit them across several categories. Working with skincare and cosmetics, I think that the two go hand in hand. If you're in there shopping for, maybe mascaras and blush, then maybe you want to go look at the apparel. So I think there can be definite synergies within the apparel and the consumables area.
So you think they get followers, kind of like they've got the mommy
Instagram.
bloggers, right?
Yeah.
They've got the mommy bloggers,
Yes.
right? And a lot of people follow them. So do you think that's what this will do, is bring some people following?
I think so, and I think, like we talked about with the millennials, that would be kind of like the niche to try to hook them into the store and bring them in.
Okay, interesting. Well, it'll be interesting to see how many more companies this Walmart Labs continues to buy up and do different things. All right, so kind of staying in the realm of internet and what's going on. Major retailers are putting unit prices on the website. So everybody except for Amazon, I think, is doing like the ounces per and that kind of a thing. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, prices per ounce. Well, I think it levels the playing field, actually, because I think what Amazon does is offers product at different sizes, lower retails. Of course, they have incentives programs. I don't know if you're a Prime member or not, but being Prime gives you some different advantages. But still, when you shop the store today, even I look at the price per ounce down on the tag. So it helps shoppers understand the value.
Like 3 different sizes, right? You got a 24 ounce, a 10 ounce, and a 60 ounce, or something like that. And you can kind of do this comparison. You're looking at the price per ounce, and then and a lot of times, believe it or not, the smaller one sometimes is the best value.
Yeah, that's not right.
I know it shouldn't be that way. That's just not right. There's something wrong with that. Yeah. But sometimes that's what. But so how do you do that online though? How do you, when you're shopping online, can you do the comparisons like that? Is that how it comes up, or how would you?
No, today you can't. No. On most products, at least for sure Amazon. I can't remember Walmart.com offers that or not, but it's definitely missing on most of Amazon product. So they may offer a 6 ounce and Walmart has the 8 ounce. So retail to retail, Amazon looks less expensive.
Exactly.
Right.
But until you looked at price per ounce, it perhaps wasn't right.
And I wonder how they'll highlight that or try to bring that out so that we can really make a fair comparison online.
Like an advantage for Walmart and the other retailers that are agreeing to do so. I do think that it will help their business a little bit. The one thing that Amazon does, and they do well, is the Prime. So I think we have to remember that, is that if you are a Prime member, and while maybe the ounces are 6 versus 8, and it looks like it's a better value, you're still getting free 2-day shipping if you're a Prime member. So I think while they're offering the price per ounce for research purposes for the consumer, I think Amazon's still got a little bit of a niche in that market, just because they are offering, the 2-day free shipping.
So Prime, how does Walmart compete with that?
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah, no, because, I think part of that too is a big part of the equation, and we talk with Walmart about value. The definition of value has such a huge percent component about convenience. So Amazon just has that huge advantage, and the millennials love that. Convenience is a number one thing. If you checked on the checklist for millennials, it's so important to them. Yeah. So that is still such a competitive advantage. It is interesting that this come up, price per ounce, because that's something a lot of retailers do. So it's their advantage, but yet when you couple it all with convenience, I don't know how much it'll increase sales or, that sort of thing. So
yeah, well, but I think it'd be better for the consumer, right? For the consumer to be able to see the price per ounce and be able to make the right choices on it. Okay, so there was a crash last week with Tracy Morgan. Big news articles. It was everywhere talking about it. Walmart fleet talking about their safety. What do you guys think about that? I mean, was it news because it was Tracy Morgan, or was it news because Walmart, crashed a truck?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I think it was news. Anything in the news that probably highlights Walmart media will grab attention to. And then I think another part of that that's mentioned in the article is the success rate and how really safe, follow the safety standards Walmart really can do, considering the number of trucks on the road and the number of people that drive for them and the number of hours. So
which I think is good for suppliers
safe
to know, is that, that Walmart does have a very safe fleet out there, right? I mean, in the article it said only 0.5% of the U.S. carriers for compliance with hours of service. So it ranks in the top 0.5% of all carriers as far as the compliance within those hours of service. And I think this guy was up for 24 hours, but at the same time they said, well, yeah, but he'd only worked the 11. He'd worked the hours that he was supposed to be working. So, there's definitely some things in there. So Walmart also said this. They said there was 300, or last year, in the past 2 years, they've had 380 accidents over the last 2 years. 9 of them were fatal and 129 involved injuries. But we didn't really hear about a lot of these accidents, did we?
Right. No. They didn't catch as much media. To your point, all of them were tragic and unfortunate. And I think, when anything is, a life is lost, that's unfortunate. But with it being like a personality and a TV personality, I think it's brought a lot more attention to the matter. And also being Walmart. Again, media grabs onto Walmart, and when they see that name, it automatically draws national news.
Does the national news ever do a positive thing? Do you ever find that out? I mean, every time I see I know it. Whenever Walmart comes up, it's almost like the Republicans. No, but it's like there's always this negative thing that happens every time.
Yeah, no, I think that's right.
Yeah. It does. Well, hey, Didi, Julie, thank you guys so much for coming in today. Stay tuned. After these messages, you'll be stepping into the Crossmark Center for Collaboration.
Imagine what it would be like if you knew the weather up to a year in advance. What would you do differently for your business or your life? At Weather Trends, we don't imagine it, we do it. We're a team of meteorologists, mathematicians, and business weather advisors. And we've spent the last 20 years developing a new way to forecast months in advance. We've been studying weather's effect on product sales based on every 1 degree change in temperature. We can now take your sales data and show you exactly how the weather impacts your business down to a single degree. We're leading the way into a new era in forecasting and a new power in business decisions. And we invite you to join us. Welcome to Weather Trends.
Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-200-1112 today. K-Stack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, K-Stack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. K-Stack, retail logistics is what we do.
Next, Mike Graen, Vice President of Collaboration at the Crossmark Center for Collaboration, takes us inside that state-of-the-art facility and gives us a tour. One high-tech room after another. Now, we all watched in wonder as it was being built, big, beautiful, and right across the street from the home office. Today, we get to go inside. Let's join Derek and Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Derek, how are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Welcome to the Crossmark Center for Collaboration.
I'm glad to be here.
I want to introduce you to Joseph Vaughn. He's the manager of all the audiovisual technology, and Carlin Pine, she's the office manager for the facility.
So, Mike, is this where Crossmark's relocated their offices, and if I have an account manager, I need to come here and meet with them?
No, actually, this is a center for collaboration where suppliers and Walmart will plan the future together.
So do I have to be a Crossmark? Do I have to use Crossmark to be able to come in here?
We certainly will be catering to our clients of Crossmark, but any supplier that's calling on Walmart would be able to use the facility.
All right, well, I'm excited to see what you've got. Let's get started. All right, so this is second level.
Second level.
What else up here?
So this is really kind of the start of the joint business planning. This is sort of the input stage of it. So we're going to kind of walk you through the various ways that we can leverage this upstairs to start that joint business planning process. And downstairs is where we get into the joint business planning actual and then the modular execution. So come check it out.
Let's see it.
So this is one of the 13 of the conference rooms we have here. This one's actually for joint business planning and for top to top. We have a larger boardroom kind of table here. We've got multiple monitors up on the wall. Each one can have its own content, and then we have side monitors as well. One of the things that we can do in this room, besides obviously PowerPoint and Excel, is we can actually do shopper-based research. We have Carlin actually downstairs preparing food in the presentation kitchen. Meanwhile, we can be up here watching her, observing it, asking her questions about what she likes about creating shopping lists, and actually do kind of shopper research from this location.
Okay, so let's go on to the next room.
Yep, let's go to the next room.
Okay, so this room is?
This room is a combination room. Like many of the rooms have multiple purposes. This one's purpose is Action Alley. We can actually conduct kind of different displays and features and things like that. We have power and data in all of the locations, so we could do kind of a trade show if we wanted to. We can also turn this into a town hall. We can get about 115 or 120 people here in kind of a town hall environment. So we've now made our way out of the Action Alley, and adjacent to Action Alley, we have something called the Supplier Solution Center. And again, like most rooms in this building, it has a couple different purposes. The first is, you see all of the television cameras, the video cameras in the ceiling. Downstairs, we have a presentation kitchen where if you are a food supplier, you want to do shopper research in kind of a kitchen environment, you can do that. But Derek, up here, we may have Johnson & Johnson or Kimberly-Clark or some of the suppliers who basically are other parts of the room, baby's bedroom or a bathroom, etc. We can actually simulate that part of the home in this thing for shopper research. The second thing we can do in here is what we call the Supplier Solution Center. And what is the key things that are really on suppliers' mind, and what are the things that are solutions today, not in the future, but right now and today. So an example of that is on-shelf availability. A lot of people are talking about on-shelf availability. We've actually simulated that by actually creating a back room to a Walmart store and a sales floor. And what we're doing is we're educating suppliers about, and merchants, how does that product move from the back room to the sales floor, and what are some of the tools that enable that to happen. An example is a tool called Spark that Walmart rolled out about 2 years ago or so. And it allows suppliers to actually work with the local stores and make sure that product actually has a modular home, and that we have actually got product moving from the back room to the sales floor. We're actually so excited about this that we're going to collaborate with 8th and Walton and do some training here. And one of the first classes we will do in here is something called the non-shelf availability class to educate suppliers and Walmart about the tools that are available to drive their on-shelf availability at Walmart.
Okay, so what is this room used for?
So Derek, this is a combination room as well. We can either use this for joint business planning. We've got multiple monitors for be able to do different content. And the other thing we've done, we heard a lot from our clients, and they really want a place for training. So we're actually going to conduct training here, category management training. We're going to do 8th and Walton training here.
You've got the monitors here just like you did in the boardroom. Can you do the same thing in here that you do in the boardroom?
Correct. You could certainly do joint business planning. You could have a video conference with somebody outside. You could actually talk to somebody in a store from here. They have the ability to be able to communicate while they're in the store. We've done that before. And certainly the research that we saw in the boardroom, we could do in here as well.
And we're not even through the top level yet.
We are not through the top level.
Let's go see some more exciting toys that you have.
Okay.
Now this room looks like a bunch of cubicles and workspace.
Correct. So we are going to create an environment here. We listen to our customers, we listen to our clients. We were going to make this a joint business planning room, but we heard from them and said, we've got a meeting at 8, got another one at 10:30. Don't want to go all the way back to my office. It's a place that I can land and check my email, grab some coffee, etc. So we've actually created this as kind of a drop-in station. And we had some people who said they really want to work sitting down, and we have other people who really enjoy working standing up. So you can actually have these adjustable, and they will work either way.
So this is another joint business planning room that you have, but this one's a little more high-tech in terms of what's on that can be seen on the screen.
That's correct. So this is a joint business planning room that's primarily reserved for people who are doing either quarterly or yearly reviews. This is one where you observe and you use all of that research that we collected upstairs. There are no cameras in here. There are no microphones in here. You can observe that research from this room, but it's primarily used to actually look at the research, look at the data. It's got 6 screens, and the idea behind that is to actually have different content. So you can look at what's going on in stores, what's going on in the marketplace. Let's show a video that actually creates all that content. And then some people will use the one screen for actually collecting and noting what exactly they agreed to. So they've got actually a capture of what the agreements were following the meeting.
Okay, well, let's go see some more.
All right, let's go do it.
GigWalk is an on-demand mobile workforce that can collect data and do work at retail. Businesses use GigWalk for retail audits, merchandising, and much more. With 350,000 smartphone-enabled workers available on demand, you get unprecedented speed and coverage across the US, Canada, and the UK. And all work is reviewed for quality and accuracy. Visit gigwalk.com to learn more.
Every day, shoppers are bombarded with traditional brand messages outside the store in hopes that these marketing dollars will drive in-store sales. Closure Media drives retail sales by connecting brands with 95 million Walmart shoppers per year while they are in the store. Through innovative programs at Walmart's photo and money centers, Closure Media converts Walmart shoppers to purchasers of your brand. With reported redemption rates up to 7 times the national FSI average, Closure Media drives sales. For more info, visit us at closuremedia.com.
Okay, so here we are in the kitchen, and we saw Carla cutting stuff up earlier, but what else do you use this kitchen for?
Well, so obviously one of the ways that we're going to use this kitchen is to actually prepare and sample product for the merchants in a much more kind of consumer-friendly environment, which is a kitchen. We'll actually be able to serve product out of here. We actually have a catering kitchen where you can keep and prepare food and bring it out and serve it to the merchants all at once. The second thing we can do is the research we were doing before, which is kind of a shopper-based research and figure out what is that path to purchase and that first moment of truth. And last we can use this for broadcast. So for example, we could bring a celebrity chef in and they could actually prepare product here, and meanwhile we could broadcast it to the entire building or even put it on the web if we wanted to.
Okay, and we're not done yet. We have more to see, so let's go see the rest of it, okay? Hey Mike, out of all the things that I've seen in the building, this wall in particular has to be one of the most impressive things, which is great, and you've said it has a lot of different capabilities.
Right. We're really excited about this capability for our clients and for our Walmart folks. We're so excited we actually got 2 of them. We have this one downstairs and we have one upstairs. This is an 8-foot by 16-foot wall, digital wall, from a company by the name of Prism. And really what it allows you to do, unlike some walls, it allows you to interact with it. You can actually use this and interact it and touch it and actually drive almost 6 different computers. You could look at going onto websites with it. It has very, very high resolution, probably the best resolution for video, for movie releases or trailers. You can play video games on it. But really, it's the collaborative nature of doing the modular process that really, I think this will really be useful.
Well, and this wall is very impressive because it's this module that we're standing in front of is actually life size. Correct. So, I mean, this is where this goes, and it is exactly the same size it's up here. So it's impressive for the wall to be this big, but I know one thing that, having been at Walmart, when you have a buyer that comes over and sits down with their category manager, it takes a lot of time to go through and look at these individual items. This wall makes that a lot easier and gives you a complete frame of reference, right?
That's correct. That's correct. We actually have a Johnson & Johnson modular up here, the baby shampoo and conditioner area. And we've got a physical layout center as well. And you can see that the physical product and the virtual worked out pretty well together. What's different is you can literally take that product and actually step it up, and you grab that bottle and actually demonstrate it. You can actually say, well, I wonder how this item is selling at Walmart. And when you touch it, it actually shows up with all of the movement information, how many stores it's in. This is just made up data just to give you an example. But that's the kind of things you can do with this. Now, for suppliers that don't use, this is actually a program called Atlas, called AMP, from a company by the name of Atlas. But we've also checked this with Fifth Dimension, Red Dot Square, JDA, EYC. All of those folks will work on this wall.
So really, this is just a big monitor.
It is just a big monitor.
With any software that the supplier brings in, And any PC or Mac will work on this as well, right?
Yeah, and I would say that basically for the entire Center for Collaboration. We are a canvas. We are a blank canvas. We are invested in technology that allow you to demonstrate your data in a much more powerful way to make decisions. You still have to do the research. You bring in that content, you plug it into our wall, you use it, and then you take it away. There's no sharing of data. We don't store any of your data. Now, if you want to do this kind of capability but don't have the capability to do that, we do have resources at Crossmark and other partners that we've worked with that can help you with that. But for the most part, the big suppliers are actually going to use this just as a very big monitor, but allow you to be able to do interactive stuff with it.
So, Mike, somebody wants to reserve a room or have a meeting over here, how do they do that?
Yeah, probably the easiest way is our website. We've got our website listed on the bottom of the screen here, and it gives you all the information about the facility, tells you when we're going to be available, tells you the kinds of things you can do here, including training classes, etc. And there's also an email address if you want to contact us directly about setting up a tour or having your team come over to take a look at it. That would be the easiest way to get started.
Another thing we want to keep in mind, this is not the Crossmark office. Your account manager is not going to be here, and you don't have to be a Crossmark client to access and use the building.
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, Mike, thanks for the tour, but I do have a final question for you. Why would Crossmark spend the resources and build a building like this right in the middle of Walmart campus?
That's a great question. Crossmark is a company that has been collaborating with suppliers and retailers for years. Matter of fact, we've been here in Northwest Arkansas since 1965. So we really believe in the collaboration power between Walmart and the supplier community. And the reality is getting the right people in the room, looking at the right data, will typically do the right decision for the shopper, that's really what it's all about. And if that business grows, Crossmark's going to benefit from that.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Don't deal with embarrassing antiperspirant residue. Choose Right Guard Extreme Clear. Its revolutionary formula combines powerful stain-fighting technology with extra effective wetness protection. The choice is clear. Right Guard for the win. Also try Extreme Fresh, winner of Product of the Year.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information or a tour, call 479-200-1112 today. 8th and Walton, the premier destination for Walmart supplier education. When and where you want to learn. Current, accurate, relevant, taught by suppliers for suppliers. 8th and Walton.
It's time now for Retail Insights with Movista. Joining me is Stan Zylowski, is the co-founder and president of Movista. So earlier this year we had a chance to talk about beacons. They were a big deal at NRF. So what about beacons, and when are we going to see those?
Well, first of all, a beacon is just a small radio. Right? You put other great technology inside there, temperature gauges, et cetera, but at the end of the day, it's a very inexpensive way for retailers to place these inside their environment and communicate both to and from smart devices.
So as a supplier, how does that help me?
Well, it helps you get your message to the customer. So a great example is you're at the shelf. It's the golden moment, as they say. You're going to pick some chocolate, and your Lindt chocolate or Ghirardelli chocolate, and you want to push a message out that says, hey, you got to try our new product. With these beacons in place, if a customer's opted into the application, you're going to be able to push that message right to them, and you're also going to be able to follow that customer through to find out if they bought the product or they didn't buy the product. So pretty big deal.
And what's the cost on these?
Well, these things, you can get them depending on how many you buy, from pennies up to $20, depending on what technology you want inside of here. But you take the average small format 5,000-foot location with only 3 beacons, you can control that entire store environment and understand not only who's in the store, but where they are down to just a few inches.
So the retailers own this, or will suppliers own it?
Well, that's interesting. That's a great question, probably yet unknown. But I think what you're going to see is that retailers are going to be putting these in the space. They're going to be laying those spaces out so they understand what's going on. And hopefully, right, we will have access as suppliers to that data, and we'll be able to utilize it.
And this isn't going to be rolling out next week, right?
No, it's going to take a little time because the hardware has to catch up. The hardware on the devices themselves has to catch up. But not necessarily weeks and days, but probably in the matter of months, and certainly in the matters of years, it's be everywhere.
And more information?
Come see us at www.mvretail.com. And we have a great blog this month by Matt Sabbath. And you'll enjoy it.
This has been Retail Insights with Stan Zylowski from Movista.
Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-200-1112 today.
8th and Walton, the premier destination for Walmart supplier education. When and where you want to learn. Current, accurate, relevant, taught by suppliers for suppliers. 8th and Walton.
Our thanks to all of today's guests. Join us next week. The Harvest Group brings new clarity to the topic of analytics. Now, if you missed any of last week's show, you can see it or record it early tomorrow. KNWA NBC is rerunning it tomorrow, Sunday, June 22nd at 12:30 a.m. Now, don't miss part 2 of our Millennials series. And of course, you can always watch on our website at 8thandwalton.com. As always, we appreciate your taking the time to join us. Now, if you have questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. I'm Andy Shook, and from all of us at Saturday Morning Meeting, thanks for watching.